Hey everybody, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom. So I've had numerous requests to go over each of the parts for the different animals. So I thought I would just quickly go through and point out each part for you just so there's no misunderstanding. So this is for the set Bicycle and Friends dies. And first I'm going to work on the little dog. So here's the little dog. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to move that one out of the way. I'm going to point out the pieces for the little dog. Okay, hopefully this is close enough so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so first of all, we have the main body of the dog. This is the main body, the whole outline, right? You don't need this if you're going to put him in the basket. If you're going to put him in the basket, you just need this part because you don't need any of the legs. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, so the full body is here. Next piece is this one. So that lines up on top right there, right? Then next is the little head. That's the outline of the head. Next is the little face. Okay, so what I did personally, I cut this out of black because then this layer, you'll have the little black eyes showing through. That's just a little tip, okay? So there we go. So next piece are his little ears. These are his little ears, go on next, okay? Next, his little belly will fit right on, nuzzled up. Actually, you know what? No, I'm lying. The next piece is the little chin. The chin will nuzzle up in this little indentation here. Okay, so the chin goes in. And once the chin is in, then that belly nuzzles up right underneath the chin. So there's the belly. That nuzzles up right under there. Okay. Then if you want, you can put on the little tongue. The tongue nuzzles up right along the curve of his little muzzle. So right in this little spot here, the tongue will line up. You've got his little ears will go on top. His little tail fits right here perfectly. His little eyes. Now, if you want to do the eye patch, right, you can surely cut out the eye out of whatever color you want and line it up with the hole that's already there. If you use black on that underneath layer, so if you've used black on this layer, the eyes will show through black and you can just line this little guy up right over top of that, little eye that's already there. Now, if for some reason you didn't use that or you use different colors or whatever, there is a second patch piece that has no eye. So what you can do is you can cut this one out of black and then cut this one out of your color and layer them on top, and that will give you your little patch over the eye with the pupil. Okay, so next are the feet. So we've got, let me just move those out of the way. So next are the feet. Okay, and these are optional little foot pads, little pink pads, and you'll notice that I used the little pink pads, little pink pads on mine, right? But that's optional, you can do what you want. And then we've got the little feet, or paws, I guess they're called, and you put them on either side of the face. If you use the outline, it shows you exactly where they go, right? And then lastly, we have his little nose piece. And that goes where his nose is. So that is pretty straightforward for the little puppy. Now, if you want to do him in the basket, what I did was I cut this piece out of whatever color you want, black, whatever your foundation color you want to be, remember, because no one sees that, okay? And then next, I cut out I didn't bother cutting out this because this is if you're holding the puppy, okay? or if the puppy's on his own. If he's in the basket, his little tail and feet aren't showing there. So don't cut this piece out. What I do is I start with this as the foundation piece. So I cut out this first, right? Then I cut out his little head, his little face, his little chin again. Then his little belly fits in that same spot. It barely shows, but it shows a little bit, right? Cut out his little belly. You know, then his, like I said, his muzzle's already in there. Then I would cut out his little tongue if you're going to do it, right? You've got his little nose. You've got his little ears, right? You've got his little paws that are going to show. Those will go on top. And you'll notice that his little tail is kind of behind him there. And you just line that up with your little shadow. Remember, it ends up being like this once you cut it out. So it'll be right there. Okay. And once that's all done, so what I do is I assemble the whole dog. Obviously, you do also use the little pieces for his eye patch if you want to do that, you know, like I said for the other. Now, what I do is I put the little doggy together on my little silhouette, right? So I put it all together, except the tongue and the little paws. Then what I do is I go ahead and I cut my baskets out of whatever colors I want, you know, and I layer them. And I stick those down on top of my dog. And then I can add my little paws on top of the basket, and I can add the tongue because it does somewhat overlap the basket. So that is basically the dog in a nutshell. So hopefully that went over all the pieces as well as I can. So again, we will quickly just go over the pieces so we can make sure. So this is the basket shadow, or the base layer if you're doing them in a basket. This is the whole dog layer if you're doing the whole dog. Okay. This is his little body, his little head. The head that's, you know, the base layer for the head. This is the little head. We've got his little ears and his little tail. We've got the two basket pieces. Remember, that works for all of them, plus the bike. We've got his little paws and his little pink pads, if that's what you want. You've got his little front paws right there. You've got his little nose piece. You've got his little muzzle piece right there. That's the little chin. I guess it's not a muzzle. I guess it's his chin, you know, goes right here, right along that edge. We've got the two pieces to make up his eye patch. So those two. And then his little tummy. And lastly, the little tongue piece. So that is all for the little puppies. Remember, you can refer to the Bicycles and Friends assembly video and watch me put these guys together. But these are just to show you what the pieces are. That's it. Bye, everybody.